Y'all, we are in Mercury retrograde, and it's coming with this big ass, powerful ass Leo energy. And guess what? The Leo energy is all about power, charisma, strength, boldness, but most of all, ego. It's all about the ego with the Leo energy. They are amazing people, but baby, when that energy comes with the Mercury retrograde, it's something to reckon with. And guess what? It's coming for all of our asses. All of our asses within your, within your relationships and communication. Honey, it's in my house. It's in my house. It don't even knock on your door. It just comes in. So your relationships are going to be tried. Your close relationships are going to be tried. And that communication, baby. You can't let that energy overpower you within communication. This is why this live is called Divine Feminine Activate. I wish I would have known how powerful the Divine Feminine energy was years ago. Because all I've seen in my feminine life as a woman, raised around strong black women, was a lot of masculine energy. You know, we don't know what that is until we come into the knowledge of the truth. We just say that's the way grandma was. She just ain't play. She was strong. She didn't, none of that. But what the strong women in your family exemplified was a lot of masculine energy. And we can't just have masculine energy in the day and time we live in. There will be no babies. There will be no nurturing. There will be no mothers. There will be no softer side of things if we did not have the feminine energy to coincide with the masculine energy. Some people carry more than the other. Some people carry a balance. I believe a lot of my rainbow community, they carry both energies, but you can see what's more prominent than others. Some have that, so it's prevalent in all of us. I don't care what your sexual preference is. We all carry the masculine and feminine energy in some capacity, and we'll see it in our life. Like you see a masculine man, but he's very caring. He's sweet on his children. He pampers his wife, his girlfriend, or whatever. He has a little more feminine energy, but it's also a balance with how he carries himself. So I just miss me with that shit when you judge people when they're a little more feminine, a little more masculine. Hell, we can't help it. We're born this way. Now, I look very feminine, okay? I'm a girly girl, but I have a lot of masculine energy. So y'all can hear me. Especially when I get upset. Especially when I feel a certain way about something. And because I was raised around a bunch of strong ass women. I'm talking about women. I'm not just talking about the women just running their mouth. I'm talking about women that will fight men. My grandmother would fight men. She would have shootout with men. She was something. Okay? She was something. And it was always a battle with my great grandmother. She would always be fighting, physically fighting with her spouses. It was always a tug of war, a fight for that position, for a power. And I have to be careful when I'm in a relationship that I don't date anyone that's going to try to usurp my authority, my power. If they feel intimidated, there will be a battle. I have to have someone that's confident in who they are and walk in that, but they don't challenge me in that area. They know how to soften that side of me. So it has to be a balance. This shit is real. Y'all need to stop judging people for how they are and figure out what energies are they operating in and how they go hand in hand. And that will also help you with your relationships, especially intimate relationships. But in this moment, okay, let me bring it back in. In this moment with this Mercury retrograde, we've got to ask for the divine feminine to activate. If you have a lot of masculine energy, you need to be saying this. Divine feminine activate. Even if you are a masculine man and you got a lot of masculine energy and they're always saying, listen, you just controlling, you always like my daddy, you just always got something to say, you overbearing, blah, blah, blah. You need to be asking in this Mercury retrograde, I can't stress that enough, for the divine feminine to activate in your life, because it's going to bring a balance. It's going to help you in this trying time. I ain't even going to hold y'all. From now until August, till this shit is over, it's going to be a trying time. But if we have the knowledge and the tools, and you listen to people like myself that's very knowledgeable, that's dropping them nuggets every day, every week, you'll be just fine. But if you try to do this shit on your own, you're gonna be fucked up when the retrograde is over. So I'm listening to everybody. I'm listening to Queen Poe. She's very knowledgeable. My spiritual daughter, Cynthia Small, and anybody else that I can tap into that's going to help me balance these energies so I won't fuck shit up. Because right now I feel real fucked up, and this energy is just hovering over me, my house, my children, my business, everything. This energy, just big Leo energy. Oh my gosh, you're saying, baby, you will not fuck up my life, because I'm going to navigate through it. And I pray that those of you that watch me and listen to what I have to say, I pray that you'll be able to navigate well as well, that you will carry emotional intelligence, that you will think about the things that you say when you have to say it, that you'll know when to shut up, when to shut the fuck up, because this energy is coming for y'all and it's not taking any prisoners. That's it. That's all. So that's my wisdom today. I'm asking for the divine feminine to activate in all of our lives so we'll know how to navigate through. So let's go ahead. I want to do a reading for y'all. I usually do that on Instagram, but I'm going to do this for y'all. This is a beautiful deck that I have. Beautiful deck. Divine Feminine Oracle. We're going to draw 3 cards, and we're going to ask Spirit for guidance, because, baby, we need it. We all need guidance in this time. And because I feel so overwhelmed with emotion, y'all work with me, I'm getting me some incense. I feel so overwhelmed with emotion. I need to really sit with Spirit. I need to be doing rituals. I need to be at my ancestor altar. I need to be sitting in a quiet place. I need not to express my feelings if I haven't thought them through. That is the divine feminine. The divine feminine moves with wisdom and grace. But there's so much power in it. Because if you move in that energy now, in this moment, you won't wake up the next day saying, oh, I regret what I said. I regret what I did. This is why we need for this energy to activate in our lives. So let's go ahead and do a reading. Whatever you do to ground yourself, please ground yourself. Whatever you do to keep yourself level-headed, please. And I'm not talking about negative shit. I'm not talking about amping up drinking, amping up smoking. I'm not talking about that shit. I'm talking about the shit that's healthy for you. Okay? If you are going to smoke a little herb, do it intentional. Be intentional. Pray over that. Okay, but drink some tea. Go sit out in nature. Listen to some frequency music. Listen to some music that's going to soothe your soul. Because this Leo energy is already around us. You don't need to be listening to any hype music and you're feeling some type of way. Because this energy is going to go hand in hand with it. Next you know, you're going to be spazzing out or whatever. So you got to balance these energies. You got to balance these energies, family. I know what the hell I'm saying. I hope y'all listening. If you don't know how to balance these energies, if you need some wisdom, some insight, you need a reading, I'm your girl, okay? And my prices are affordable right now. There's $25 for 30-minute reading. It doesn't matter how many cards I flip. I just flow with spirit. And if you need a whole hour, that's $50. People are charging almost $100 now for an hour reading. I want to be accessible to everyone, and I want to be a blessing because, you know, I'm here to help y'all. The money's going to come, but I don't want nobody crashing out or doing some crazy shit that they regret when I know I could have been a help to those who need it. All right? So here we go. Let's chime in. We're asking for spirit to give us a, look at this. If you look at the outside of that card, that looks like a vagina, right? Okay. Yeah. Divine feminine. Get into it. And somebody may watch this say, I ain't no, you know, somebody with a lot of masculine energy, male or female. I ain't no pussy. I ain't no, baby. Trust me when I say. If you let that energy take over, if you let that energy, you're going to regret. You're going to regret. It ain't that you a pussy, ain't that you weak. You just balancing these energies. Because this retrograde is already masculine as fuck. This is what I want y'all to do before I flip these cards. Whatever your zodiac sign is, put it up against a Leo. Okay? Like for instance, say just like you, like for a relationship. Let's say it's an intimate energy. Go on Google and say, like I'm a Gemini woman. Gemini woman and Leo man. And look at the compatibilities and look at the friction, the yin and the yang of it all. If you are an Aquarius man, look up a Leo woman. And that will help you understand what this energy has come to do to your life. Now, I know that Geminis are compatible with Leo, but it's some clashes in there too. Okay? That's probably why I can speak on it so profoundly, because, you know, I'm compatible with that. But if you're not compatible with this energy, you need to know how to navigate. So please go do that. Go do that. And it'll help you with this energy. Okay. That was good and profound. I promise y'all, it's not me speaking to y'all. Spirit has been speaking. Spirit has really been using me. Spirit has really been showing me why my name is Queen Thais Speaks. I got some shit to say. Okay? See, this energy is crazy. See how this card's going? This energy is wild, baby. Ooh, good God. Okay, so I have 4 cards here. I have 3 in a bonus. So the first card that came out is Our Lady of Guadalupe. She is the Empress of Protection. I am safe and divinely protected. I am held in love at all times. I work with this energy. This is a powerful, divine feminine energy. She owns the room. She owns the situation. She comes in like, I'm here. She comes in softly, and then her energy just, it illuminates and just takes over the situation. She comes in subtly. Even her colors are soft and feminine, the way she looks. But once you put her in the situation, she just swells up like a sponge and just consumes the whole situation. And she gets shit done. So if you never worked with the Lady of Guadalupe, baby, you need to. They have her candles in the Dollar Tree. They have her candles in the spiritual shop. You need to work with her. You need to work with her if there is a hard situation, especially nobody don't want to listen. They're stubborn. They're in their own way. She just subtly goes in and she really takes over the situation. And it is so powerful. The person be like, what the fuck just happened? And when the working is done, you'll be like, damn, they took care of that. She took care of that. you know, it's so subtle and sweet and feminine. That's the divine feminine. But let's read about her. You are protected. Yes, she is a protector, honey. She is a protector. And I'm going to take my damn time and do this reading because we need this. It's a lot of powerful people in this. Okay, can I get a number? No number. Okay. Y'all work with me. Stick with me now. Okay, so this tells us she is the emblazoned emblem of the uniquely powerful protection of a mother's love. Her image is believed to have miraculously appeared when the tilma or cloak of Saint Juan Diego, she appeared to him 4 times, the first of which was on December 9th, 1531. She spoke to Juan in his native language and asked him to build a church in her honor. They were standing on the Tepeyac Hill outside of Mexico City, where the Spanish had recently destroyed a temple to the mother goddess Tonantzin, an Aztec goddess of love. Juan Diego tried to convince the archbishop of the authenticity of the apparition, but to no avail. He asked Guadalupe to give him a sign that would help convince the archbishop of her identity. She appeared to Juan a final time and told him to collect the Castilian roses, not native in Mexico, that were in bloom at the top of this hill. He gathered the roses in his cloak, and when they fell before the archbishop, they could both see the emblem of Our Lady of Guadalupe inscribed on the inside of his cloak. An image on Juan Diego's cloak has become Mexico's most popular religious, I'm getting chilled, and cultural symbol. It hangs above the high altar in the Basilica of Guadalupe in Mexico City. This basilica is the most visited Catholic pilgrimage, thank you, site in the world, and the third most visited sacred site. And it gives more. Okay, so when we get this card, what is outside of us is also within us, even if we have never experienced a mother's love. The true force of that loving protection exists within us, so we can give it to ourselves. When St. Juan Diego was concerned that the archbishop would not believe him and was racing to meet Our Lady of Guadalupe, she appeared suddenly and said the most beloved phrase in the apparition story, a phrase that is inscribed on the entrance to her basilica. No, estoy yo que soy tu madre. Am I not here? I who am your mother. I'm sorry, y'all. Okay. The energy of a mother's love can travel to meet you anywhere, whether within the world or within your own heart. The message is that she is here. You are mothered. But the message is also that ask for what you need. But St. Juan Diego asked Our Lady of Guadalupe for a sign that proved her identity and existence. She gave him her image emblazoned inside his cloak, one that has been venerated and considered holy ever since, because he asked for her assistance. Y'all, I'm sorry. When I say this is the card for me, I don't even know if I can go on with this reading, because that hit me right in my heart, in my gut, as a mother. I can't. The divine feminine. I guess I had to finish it on Instagram. Anybody know me? Y'all know me. One thing that I hold near and dear to my heart is being a mother. I have 4 biological children. I have many spiritual children, many of which are just out there. And so when your children get older, even when you taking your spiritual children to as far as you could have taken them, you can't just go in and give your help. They're adults now. They're mature now. You just have to make your presence known. I'm talking to the fathers too. Working in that divine feminine energy. You just have to let them know that you're here. But it's up to them to ask for help. That's what Spirit is saying. Oh. And we don't want to see our babies go through stuff. We don't want them to have to experience some of the things we experience. But that true mother of protection is one that will continue to pray, is one that will give her wisdom, even if it don't feel good, even if it's not in the nicest of a voice. But that's a mother. A mother steps in and tells you the shit that you don't want to hear. A mother will challenge you in them areas. And I speak from experience with my mother. And when my mother's work was done, she went on. And I was thinking about this today. And I got to be transparent. Being a mother is not for the faint at heart. And as I took myself out of the seat of judgment and looked at mothers that said, I can't do this. They gave up their babies. They walked away. They disowned the child. Some had abortions. I get it. I get it. Because it's not for the faint of heart. I no longer judge those people. I no longer judge them. Because as a mother, your heart gonna be broken into tiny pieces. And then that love will come back in and just love anyway, even with the pieces of your heart on the ground. Oh, y'all think y'all been through a heartbreak with a man or a woman. Your children will break your heart. They will slam your heart up against the wall. How I know? I did it to my mother, but she kept on loving me. Lady of Guadalupe. Because there will be some that don't want to listen. There'll be some that probably won't ever give a fuck. There'll be some that's close. There'll be some that's far. There's some that will say that will disown you as a mother. But that does not take away from you as a mother. Your portal was used to bring that baby here. And so now, oh God, that you've taken them as far as you could take them. You just have to wait till they ask for help. I am safe and divinely protected. I am held in love at all times. And I sit here full of emotion. Because all the shit I took my mama through, all the shit she took my grandmother through, all the shit my grandmother took her mother through, they stand on the other side, still mothering us. The divine feminine. See, you see how it will just bring things into alignment. You see how, yes, it is for me. You see how it just softens the situation. You see how it brings clarity. And you talk about emotional intelligence. Divine feminine has emotional intelligence. You ever had a situation? I can only talk about me. I had a situation in my home when I was married. And it was with my youngest child and my husband. He was furious about something that had occurred in my youngest child's life. That divine masculine wanted just to rip the whole situation apart. And it was so bad, I thought that I feared for my child's life. But that divine feminine came into me. Even though I was furious with what he was saying and what he said he wanted to do to my baby, I couldn't react the way he was acting. I had to tap into my wisdom and ask Spirit how to handle this. And in the midst of so much rage and hurt and pain, that Divine Feminine came in and saved and changed the situation. He didn't catch a charge, and my baby's still walking this earth. That's how powerful the Divine Feminine is. So those of you that feel like you can just do it with all this masculine energy, guess what? You're going to find yourself in a world of trouble. You're going to find yourself catching a charge. You're going to find yourself doing some hellacious shit because you refuse to embrace the Divine Feminine. There is a yin and yang. There's a balance. There's a duality. You can't have one without the other. That's it. That's all. Ah, thank you so much. Thank you so much, daughter. Y'all, I was going to apologize, but I can't apologize for Spirit. I'm just going to take this on over to Instagram and finish this up. But please, look at this card. Look at this card. I think she's calling me to get some. I don't have any. I usually have candles. I'm probably going to go get a couple of them today. Work with her. Learn about her. And operate in that energy. We need it. We need it. We all want to come out of this retrograde with our head intact, with our relationships intact, with our money intact, with our emotions intact, and that we don't say or do anything that's going to compromise all that we work so hard to build. I even have to be mindful when I'm on here talking to y'all. You understand? So I'm grateful for this word today. Divine Feminine, activate. Ashe, ashe, ashe. I love y'all. Bye-bye. Received. Yes, received. Love y'all.